Again, guys, welcome back to the Quarter Hour Spark. I'm Callum.
I'm Roger.
I'm Seamus.
And I'm Bronwyn.
So, our previous topic was all about a family tradition, which was quite nice, quite homey actually. I really enjoyed that topic. But we're going back to Seamus for a random selection from all the topics you guys posted in, which we're very, very grateful for. Seamus, pick a number, buddy.
Number 5.
Number 5. Okay, here we go. And the time starts now. Our question, very sophisticated question from the lovely Miss Rosie, who's one of our flatmates. Thank you, Rosie.
Thanks, Rosie.
Is age socially constructed? How sophisticated is this? First thing on a Friday morning, guys.
Age is just a number. I think
Jail is just a room, Roger.
But I think you ought to treat someone based on the mental capacity and their ability. If they're acting right-minded and rational, treat them so regardless of age. I don't often like necessarily respect your elders or something like.
You don't believe in respecting your elders?
Well, no, I think we ought to respect everyone, but not necessarily just take into account that older means wiser. Generations have moved on and conditions change. That the younger generations are progressing. I think becoming more open-minded people and such.
And
Callum.
I conclude my essay on age. Is age socially constructed? Yes, obviously, because everything's socially constructed in our society. There's quite a lot of stereotypes and that revolving around older people. Older people aren't expected to do certain things. I am quite traditional, so I do think that you should respect your elders, regardless of who they are, as long as they respect you back.
But you ought to respect anyone.
You should, yeah, no, of course. But what I mean is that I wouldn't necessarily give my seat up for another man my age. However, I would give my seat up for an older person.
Oh, right, but that's due to physical ability.
But
you'd give your seat up for a pregnant lady,
but that's also respect, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Which to a degree is socially constructed.
You ought to respect everybody and help those out in need.
Except for Chaz.
Yeah, but what if you're a young person and you've broken your leg or something? Give your seat up for the young person as well.
The thing is, with age, I think it's necessary for the law as well.
It's necessary for people getting older?
No, it's necessary for the law because you have to have these restrictions on things, such as driving a car. Like, yesterday I heard on the radio that 11 and 12-year-olds were drunk driving.
Wow.
Really?
That's not okay.
That's hardcore.
They're 11 and 12-year-olds should be playing in their back garden, not driving and drinking.
Yeah,
that is.
Well, I think age acts as good guidelines for around your mental development.
Yeah.
You had such and such a capacity, but if it were the case that someone could become fully developed an adult by the age of 12. And they're physically capable, they're big enough to drive. Mm-hmm. They have the mental, capacity to learn and whatnot. Then what reason would there be against them driving?
Yeah, how would you judge that though? Because I understand that, see with education, in terms of education, people that have developed from a younger age are held back because of their age. They can't learn.
Yeah.
In our schooling, they can't learn advanced hires at 12 years old, even if they're capable of it. Only in exceptional circumstances, which isn't right. I don't think, anyway.
Yeah, well
Seamus,
actually... Sorry.
Go on, Seamus, what do you think, buddy?
For age limits and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, what are you talking about?
We're talking about age.
We have a little trouble with my mic.
That's okay. Age and education, buddy. What do you think about that? Do you feel that if a child basically is able to go on and do things beyond its years, brackets, close brackets, should it be allowed to do so?
Yes.
Ace. Thank you, Seamus.
But just because you have the mental capacity to be able to do things above your own age level, yes, doesn't mean you have the social skills.
Yeah. I would add in actually experiences.
Yes.
So number of years and experience is actually a good factor to calculate in.
So, in that case, just go back to the question: is it what is it to be socially constructed?
What is it? What do you mean?
What if age is socially constructed?
Yeah.
What else is socially constructed? What does it mean to be socially constructed on something?
Oh, well, maybe some stereotypes are quite socially constructed. That
Do you want to give some examples from our wonderful listeners?
that women are better cooks. No, that women.
They are. It's a fact.
No, that's I don't know though, because
Roger, we've done pasta.
Hey, I cook a mean potato.
You do. I do burnt pasta.
Yeah.
And burnt omelets.
I do.
Yeah,
boiled potato.
His potatoes are mean. They look at me really, funny every time I walk past.
Giving you eyes.
Giving the eyeballs.
They're growing eyes. Yeah. All kinds of things.
The mutated carrot you got the other night.
Potatoes,
Well.
you're doing it right.
But yeah, stereotypes can be socially constructed. I think an interesting one, quite complicated, is math. Socially constructed. Is math invented or discovered? But that's beyond.
It's neither of those
means.
things, Roger. It's just difficult. It's just damn difficult.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh.
Roger's getting excited on the radio because he can do. Seamus, what do you think, buddy? Do you think there are any stereotypes or things that are socially constructed that you agree with, disagree with? What's your view on that?
Yeah, I think that age of consent is a big one.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely
That's a
big
whole
one.
other topic in itself.
But that has fluctuated over many, many years. What was deemed bad at the time? Well, my great granny, she married her husband when she was 14 and he was 20.
All right.
But you got to look at the social and way things were back then. This is Ireland, and very Catholic, and basically if you got married, you were married for life.
You got
had
more
kids.
potatoes too.
Got lots of potatoes, plenty of potatoes. So
Yum.
so back then it was basically much more. It wasn't a less serious issue. But when it happened, you knew that they were married for life. There was nothing.
Well, it's a really serious life decision to say you're going to spend this person with the rest of your life. That's a massive decision to make. And the age of 14, I don't know. Yeah, you're mentally developed enough, or you have enough experience you haven't been with enough people. Maybe I think it takes time to find out what you like, what you don't like.
Well, this is the thing about social construction because
Marriage.
because society was marriage. Because society is evolving and changing, tons of 14-year-olds now wouldn't even consider marriage.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, a lot of people are just kind of finding themselves. It's the same thing with children going out at night and children going out on the streets and stuff. Back in my dad's generation, for example, you could play out till like 11 when you were 7 years old, and that wasn't wrong.
In the summer when it's
In the summer when it was light.
It's always dark at 11, but light and stuff is bedtimes is socially constructed, I think.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
There's no rule on this. I can stay up if I want to, Mom. You're not the boss of me. You're not my real mom.
I have a radio station. I'm an adult now. I think I think age is socially constructed because although there's obviously the practical side of perhaps your joints aren't as good as they used to be and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's the reality that I don't know where I'm going with this point.
Well, how about this? You know how countries have different ages of consent? How does that work? How come...
We're back on consent, guys.
Yeah, no, I was just
thing
wondering
Friday.
this because in America it's 21 for alcohol
Yeah.
and here it's 18. So how come it's 21 over there but we think it's 18 here? How come for the... I don't know, it's just all different. I don't understand how...
Well, you see, I've never had alcohol before, only very recently.
Oh, no.
Because I'm only just 19, so I haven't touched the stuff. I didn't dare
I've
go
heard
near
of
it
it.
when I was younger. What is alcohol?
I've heard of it, yeah.
The strange thing called alcohol.
This strange elixir that lures us
The
in.
elixir of life.
Elixir of life.
Yeah,
No,
why
that's
does it-
whiskey for the
why is it
Scots.
different? And you find it in some, like in Austria, I think it's just 14 or something like that, and that you can rely on people to kind of discover it by themselves, and I think you find that people who've tried it early and mature through it quicker.
Yeah.
And the kids in America trying it when they're 21 or something, no idea what they're doing, and they get out of hand.
I disagree with that, actually.
Okay.
I think that we all know very much what we're doing with it. It's just that, again, the socially reconstructed image of us and alcohol is alcohol equals parties, equals madness, equals fun, equals love, maybe.
Yeah.
But because that's our tradition over here, that's socially reconstructed. That's socially constructed. Whilst in Austria, perhaps things, I don't know, we'll have to ask Rosie when we get back.
Yeah.
Perhaps things are a lot more relaxed, but
Right.
because they've been allowed to try it
Wine
younger,
at dinner and whatnot.
yeah, that exactly. Alcohol in general.
I'm curious.
You lived in France. Like, what's it like in France?
Oh yeah, loads of wine all the time. It was great, and yeah, it's just something you could just have during dinner, and it didn't have to mean anything.
This wine doesn't mean anything to me.
But a lot of I don't know. You have shenanigans and people getting totally off their face on the streets like anywhere. But I going back to marriage or polyamorous people is this?
You may have to explain that term to some of our.
Are people monogamous? Is marriage and staying with one person for life, is that a social construction, or do people generally maybe spread out? You have multiple partners and stuff. In Mormonism, I think you can marry a few women, but that's the man marries bunch of women.
And Amish?
The women have to stay with one guy. But just in general, throughout religion, just being with one person, staying together.
That is definitely a social construction, because when you look in nature, there are, of course, animals that do bond for life.
Yeah.
But there's loads of other ones that just, like lions, classic example.
Oh.
They've got the lion, and then you've got your lionesses, and you just. Well, not comparing that to humans.
Look at our closest ancestor, the chimpanzee.
Mm-hmm.
Are they monogamous?
I thought our closest ancestor was the chav.
Glug glug.
Glug glug.
Sorry, chavs.
I'll do your face in for that.
That's quite good, actually. Just saying for listeners, that wasn't a sound effect. That was actually just Roger's voice.
I don't know where it came from. Go on, James.
But basically, I think humans have a natural tendency to have more than one partner. But maybe you could be said that as they get older, you basically do tend to stick with one person.
you
stick with her. Yeah.
You tend to put up with the one that's all right.
Well,
for you.
that's not being polyamorous, though. Being polyamorous is being sticking together, but with multiple people, though. I think, and that's okay. You're okay with that. Me, I think. I don't know. When I get into a girl, I just get into one girl.
Yeah, me too.
I find it hard, but I don't know if I've just been told all these years, or that's all I've seen. So that's why. So I have this kind of expectation of we're together now.
Well, it all comes down. It comes down to that social reconstruction. I think one thing we haven't mentioned to do with age and social construction in general is that although we have our broad society, you also have your own little individual society and your individual morals and stuff that are right for you. So perhaps Roger's interpretation of what society's given him is different from what's given Seamus and I and Bronwyn.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, we've all had different experiences.
But I totally agree with you. I'm totally... and what?
And cultures. It's a big one.
Yeah, definitely, of course. But I mean, my culture is quite different from yours.
My culture.
I believe in gibberish.
Yeah. I think age as a social construct changes as a life expectancy increases. Back in BC times where you're only living to 20 years old, life expectancy is short. You got to get things done. You got to go. I don't have much
You got to get things done.
You got to go.
Yeah.
It's like learn to drive. Well, I got to get on that now.
Also there was no Facebook.
No
Hence the reason. See if you didn't go on Facebook. Please do, obviously, for us. But if you didn't, you'd have so much free time and Snapchat and all that jazz. But we are on our final minute of this topic, guys. So, starting with Seamus, would you like to give us a overview? Do you think age is socially reconstructed. Yes, socially constructed. I keep saying reconstructed.
Reconstructed.
I'm talking about surgery here.
Breaking it down, building it back up.
That's what it is.
Yes, I do. I do ultimately think it is socially constructed, but for good reasons. I think they're probably. I think it's always changing though.
Yes,
it's always changing. That's an important fact.
Yeah.
You've got to understand that it's not fixed to one point. The standards now are totally different to what it was 100 years ago.
Definitely.
But they're there for a reason, and I think maybe they go along the lines of civilization. You know, social constructions are coming hand in hand with civilization, and without them, probably you wouldn't have really much of a civilization.
Yeah, I'd agree with Seamus there. I mean, there is the how many times you've gone around the sun is accurate. So you say, I've gone around the sun 19 times.
How many times have you gone around the sun, Roger?
19 times.
19 times?
19
Wow,
times. I'm working on my 20th at the moment.
He's laughing.
I'm getting there. I've been training all this time, since birth. But yeah, no, I'm going to agree with Seamus. I think it is, to an extent, socially constructed, but with good intent.
And I'm going to agree with both of those guys because we're moving on to becoming the 16-minute spark. So pass you back to Bronwyn with some great tunes, and we will come back with the next topic in about 3 minutes, guys. See you then.